Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BSV TV. I'm your host Satoshi, and on this show we'll be defending the one and only, truly genuine Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that Satoshi Nakamoto designed in his white paper as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system for the world. Let's get the disclaimers out of the way. So all the statements that you hear on this show are opinion and must only ever be taken as opinion. They are never to be taken as any form of advice, family, financial, sexual or otherwise. And on that note, let's sit back, relax, have some fun and enjoy the show. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and set your own fee on Streamanity.
Yeah, I'm not surprised I wasn't asked why I'm convinced. Craig is Satoshi. I posted on Reddit. He signed in my presence using the private key from block number one, the very first mined Bitcoin block. On a computer that I'm convinced had not been tampered with, on software I'm convinced that had not been tampered with, a message of my choosing.
At InChain, we've just funded a number of universities doing, so far, a test up to 1 gigabyte because it validates what we've already done independently. We've tested up to 380 gigabyte blocks. We've tested 1 million transactions a second and transaction sizes up to 20 megabytes. Super complex scripts. Basically ones that can run operating systems. That's basically all of global commerce times about 50. On top of that, we can have complex scripts. On top of that, we can scale each of those transactions 1,000 times, which effectively means about 1 billion transactions per second, which means we can then have all derivatives, all complex trades. That means high frequency trading. It means everything that happens globally.
Is the market that effectively BSV is going for, is that global e-commerce, which is currently valued at $29 trillion?
No, that's too small.
Buy and sell Bitcoin instantly at bsvgravity.com. And you can now book and pay for your winter holiday at skibsv.com. Good afternoon, everybody. It looks like we are live at 5 once again, rocking and rolling. Check it out. Oh, massively excited about looking at these figures now that we know things are changing beneath us. Let's just jump straight into it. This is the crypto forecast, the strength of the system, the health of the network. We're in November. Crikey, we've only got 11 days left until the BSV anniversary. That's going to be the next date in the diary. I knew there was something coming up. Let's see what's going on and who's mining what. Wow, I look at all the data coming through the chain here. Look at SBI Crypto 4,000, unknown 6,000, unknown 4,000, Tau 3,000, mempool 5,000 kilobytes. Well, we've got 11,000 kilobytes there from Tau. Any more from that? What's the biggest one we've got? 17 kilobytes. But I mean, look at all these blocks. All these blocks with like, well, obviously like the odd one now that hasn't, but you know, that is phenomenal. That is what we want to see. That is what we want to see. B Crash. Oh, it looks like B Crash have upped their game maybe a little bit. But I mean, you know, what was? Let's play a game. Let's see what the biggest amount of data that B Crash has managed to get fit into one block today. Oh my goodness me. Oh, look, BTC.com, 369 kilobytes. I think that's the biggest one I can see by just skimming it over. Is that the biggest one? The biggest block they've got? Yeah. So the biggest block in this column of B Crash is like 396 kilobytes. In comparison to a Bitcoin with 17,000. Oh my goodness. And then like just a cool coin just staying as it is. God, there's such a load of shit. Oh. But bullish is all I can say on Bitcoin. Whoa, look at this. Look at this. This is actually quite something. So, if you remember literally just the other day, SBI Crypto, that has now got 25% of the Bitcoin hash rate, had a large chunk on Bcrash, and then from there they have jumped on to Bitcoin, and this is what Hathor did. So Hathor jumped onto Bcrash, maxed it for about I don't know how many days, but I mean, just before it jumped over, you know, it had a large amount of hash rate, and then it swapped all of it onto Bitcoin. So I wonder if that process that we've seen there has got anything to do with, you know, maybe automatic hash rate adjustment, so they can like jump onto Bitcoin without the other shitcoiners, which are like Antpool and Binance, you know, jumping onto it. So I mean, this has made my day. This is now like literally sort of 48 hours, well 24 hours since I last saw it, but 2 days ago, that Binance is literally completely off the chain, which is great. I'm just gonna check the number of blocks with data in that Hathor's mined, because I wouldn't expect Hathor to be leading the charge with 26%. Because we saw a number of blocks there with not a lot of data in when they're mining empty blocks. Let's just have a look. Yeah, Hathor, again, empty block, comparison. I mean, look, all of these, this is all SBI crypto, Tau mining, SBI crypto, Tau mining, SBI, unknown. Hathor, again, only like 2 blocks there. So I'm literally, you can probably count on one hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 blocks in that entire column is all it got. So yeah, maybe we can expect to see the Hathor hash rate decline, maybe. But I mean, this is great seeing these you know, big companies. Like we said, SBI Crypto is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and now they're mining relatively large blocks, you know, which is processing the data through the Bitcoin chain. So that's really exciting. And on that note, let's have a quick look, a rundown of the shitcoin market. So again, the thing to keep an eye out for here is the 24-hour volume. So look at this. We've got $93 million on a market cap of 2.8 billion. We've got, I mean, look at this. Oh, so it's got a market cap in comparison to Bitcoin of 4.4, whereas Bitcoin's only got, well, that's like 2.8, so we'll say 3. But then look at the volume on that. You know, the volume in comparison to the market cap. I mean, what, like that's like 300 or three times more. But the market cap is only just below, or about 75% ish, about that. But yeah, that shows that literally, like, people are not trading Bitcoin because they're holding on to it. I mean, that's a really significant figure to keep an eye on there. Oh, look at that. Coin finally got over $14,000. All the shitcoiners are literally going to be spunking their pants over that. But like this is what I would say. Like, we here in Bitcoin know that Coin is a complete and utter Ponzi scheme. There is no fundamental value in that whatsoever. So all these people piling in are literally throwing their money down. Like, we know that this could literally collapse overnight. All these people going in with hope and going, oh, I've only ever heard of Bitcoin. Right, well, let's talk about scaling, shall we? There is no scaling on Coin, as you can see by the data in the blocks. I wonder who has got all the patents for scaling blockchain technology. They would belong to nChain. You know, again, chain of signatures broken, completely centralized. I mean, literally, when they discover what's going on here, I mean, obviously, there are going to be there's going to be those who discover what we know first. So it's just like, okay, well, they've discovered this, and then they've like moved their money into BSV. But like I said yesterday, that's going to be a very few, like, you know, a select few that know this and do this. The rest of the market are literally going to be like a pig squeeze. So it's just like, do you want to be in it? The only reason you'd go in that is if you're a gambler and you're just like, well, you know, there's a little bit of FOMO going in and people don't really understand what me know. But, you know, I'm an investor. I'm not going to buy a piece of shit. I'm just not. And if you look at kind of like the prices of Bitcoin. It's just like you can either buy a piece of shit that is currently 40, a piece of a piece of shit that is currently over $14,000, or you can buy the genuine Bitcoin here that is currently $152. You know, there's no comparison. I'm not a gambler. I'm an investor. So like when I see lower prices in in Bitcoin like this, I'm just like, yeah, you know what? That's what I'm going to get, because I know what this thing is. Price to me makes no difference whatsoever. Price does not affect the fundamental value of this thing, not one iota. Price simply goes up and down. That is it. If it goes lower, you get better value for money. If it goes up, you feel richer. That's about it. But for your efforts, which you should be doing on a regular basis, you know, as in like getting money coming in and then exchanging, and literally this is what I do. I literally exchange what I've got when I can with whatever I have. That's literally all I do. You know, so it's kind of like I don't even look at the price when I go in. You know, I mean, obviously, if the price does dip, I look at my pennies and I'm like, oh, you know what? Can I scrape another one together? You know, can I go in there? I get paid in a week's time. Money's coming in. I wish the price would stay where it is, like for an entire week. You know, but like sometimes the price shoots up, and it's just like, well, can you risk like, I mean, if you want to waste your time speculating on price with it going up and down, you never know when this thing is going to pop. Like literally, you never know. But what I can say is that, you know, with the number of criminal enterprises that have been taken down recently, law enforcement are becoming increasingly comfortable using blockchain technology to track all these criminals on the blockchain. And that's law enforcement effectively endorsing the use of Bitcoin technology, of blockchain technology for global commerce and trade. You know, they are very, very, very quickly going to realize that nobody is using BTC because they can't use it because it's not scaled. You know, and like we said, Lightning Network is literally, you know, they're nodes which need to have, they are money service businesses, and therefore they need to have transmitter licenses. So, you know, the biggest node on the Lightning Network is basically going to get done, and the operator of that node is going to get done big time for operating without a money transmitter license. It's an absolute piece of crap. You know, and then we've got Roger Ver with Bitcoin Cash purposely trying to make it illegal just to wave the red flag at the bull being law enforcement. Yeah, like, come and get me. Like, really, it's really not very clever. Like, do you want a blockchain that the whole world is going to use, global commerce is going to be in on? Because if global commerce is going to be in on it, and they're buying it for economic efficiencies with the data and data security, and it's also a currency that's going up in value, would you rather have something that only a small minority of criminals use, or do you want something that the whole world is going to pile in on? Like, it's that simple. You know, this is like the whole point of, you know, designing something like this, like Craig had said. You know, it's a capitalist system. The whole idea of doing something is to give it as much value as possible. And the way you give it as much value as possible is by making it available to the largest market as possible. And the largest market as possible is the entire world. It's global trade. You need everybody using it. That is it. That is it. But none of these shitcoiners get it. Like, none of these shitcoiners get it. They're just like, well, it's just Bitcoin, and there's problems with fiat money, and rah, rah. Yeah, it's just like, well, like I said, that's kind of like all they know. It's like the only thing that Anthony Pompliano keeps like banging on about when he goes bang, bang. But I was actually having a word with somebody earlier today, like somebody who is very extremely skeptical of cryptocurrency, just basically thinks it's a joke and like won't take off and anything like that. And so obviously naturally the conversation, I felt like a BTC actually, you know, just going back banging on about fiat currency. But when you think about it, like fiat currency, literally with no value whatsoever, the entire world is built on this fiat currency that we're using. The entire global system is built on this money that has got no value whatsoever. this money that is floating around the economy is what initially is printed, goes into the economy, and then props up the stock market because because money doesn't hold its value. So therefore people get this money, and any excess money that they've got, and there's lots of it, goes into buying stocks and bonds and assets and shit that they don't need, encouraging excess consumption because nobody wants to hold on to this dirty dollar. Like, as Ray Dalio said, cash is trash. So they're going to proof of stake. Now, version 1.0 of Ethereum 2.0 specifications has been released, and if all goes to plan, the blockchain upgrade should happen at the beginning of next month. We're not going to go through the whole thing because we know Ethereum's a load of crap, but just to see what it says, the first version of Ethereum 2.0 is set to launch on December the 1st, according to the Ethereum Foundation blog post today, as long as certain criteria are met. Well, I doubt they'll be met, but anyway. The blockchain upgrade, which moves the network towards a proof of stake consensus mechanism. There we go. It's official. Will allow Ethereum holders to stake their coins to help run the network instead of mining blocks, as is currently the case. So let's talk about that. With proof of stake, there is no competition between the stakeholders. Without competition, you simply get collusion because all the stakeholders have the same, it's in their interest for everyone to do the same and benefit themselves. It is a completely centralized network because the stakeholders centralize it. There is no competition between them at all, which means when you have a centralized network, the token on it becomes utterly worthless. Totally worthless. Can you imagine the US government or the Chinese government going, oh yeah, we'll use this token that's owned and controlled by that group of people over there? Never gonna happen. So this was on 27th of October. 27th of October, a few days ago. But it says here, Coinbase goes down as Bitcoin approaches 2019 highs. Now, I've got my own theory on this, which I'm going to go over in just a minute. But let's just see what it says here in this article, first of all. $1 billion worth of Bitcoin from Silk Road Wallet moves for first time since 2015. But let's leave this article up there while we do ding-a-dong. Let's do this, people. Let's get it on. I think that's all we can see in there. Wow, look at that. That's looking great. Yeah, I mean the chain was kind of sparse before, but you can see the clusters of data here, just getting more concentrated. Yeah, this is great. Again, shitcoiners wouldn't have a clue what we're looking at here, but we do. You know, investigating Bitcoin. So yeah, on that note, cheers for tuning in, everyone. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there. Joy given, same time tomorrow. Catch you later. BuyBSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and watch the full episode on Streamanity for just 20 cents. Go to www.satoshi.tv. See the link in the description below. Bitcoin, one world, one chain.
One vision.